Hello and welcome to another episode of The Flying Reporter. Today, interesting flight. We're going to be testing out my oxygen gear, going to take India Victor up as high as it will go. Apparently 20,000 feet, but we shall see. And then we're going to land at Southampton. So join me on board and let's get going. A few things to check out today. Firstly, the oxygen. I've tested it on the ground, so we want to make sure that works. And then also take the aircraft up to its critical altitude, which is supposed to be 12,000 feet. Check that it is the critical altitude. It's a maintenance task. And then the aim is to take it up to flight level 200, which is its service limit, and see if it will operate at that. I need to be mindful of magnetos and checking the magnetos on the way up, because they do have a tendency to not work. I don't have pressurised mags on here, but the mags I do have are supposedly pretty good for this sort of thing. And then we'll go to Southampton, somewhere I've not been to before. Okay, power's set, good power. T's and P's are in the green, no warning lights. Airspeed's increasing. Copy Victor, left the ATZ to the north, altitude 3,300 feet, changing to London information 124.6.
Copy Victor, roger, good to see you, take care and see you soon.
As I'm sure many of you know, I'm planning to take my Aero across the Atlantic next year, flying it back to Vero Beach in Florida, where it was made back in 1977, and then onwards to Oshkosh, the world's biggest general aviation convention. For such a challenging mission, I need to know what my aeroplane is capable of. According to its manual, it'll fly quite happily at 20,000 feet, but will it manage that in practice? Hopefully we'll find out today. As I'm planning to fly above flight level 100, according to UK and European regulations, I need supplementary oxygen, and today is my first flight trying that out. I've got the mask here, not the cannulas, because above 18,000 feet we can't fly on cannulas. We have to be on a mask.
London information, Golf Bravo Mike, India Victor, request basic service.
Golf Bravo Mike, India Victor, London information, good morning, pass message.
Now, here's a really interesting debriefing point for me. I'm planning to conduct this flight outside of controlled airspace over East Anglia so that I can climb and descend as required. And I'm calling up London information, which might be just a flight information service, but they proved their worth today. I told them that my plan was to climb to flight level 200 ultimately, and having referenced Sky Demon, I was pretty sure that that would keep me in Class G, but I was wrong.
Bravo Mike, India Victor, London information, roger, Scorp 1177 with no Charlie, and remain outside controlled airspace, basic service. Just be advised I won't be able to speak to you past flight level 195, so between 195 and 200 you'll be entering controlled airspace. Confirm you'll be remaining outside.
Scorp 1177 no Charlie, basic service, Wilco, Golf India Victor.
Now, my mistake there was that I had failed to remember that VFR flight in the UK is only permitted up to flight level 195. I don't know what happened. It was there deep in the depths of my memory from my flight training and studies, but it had sort of vanished in the moment of planning this flight, kind of compounded by the fact that that airspace really wasn't showing on Sky Demon. Sky Demon have told me now that they don't show any airspace above flight level 195. It is, after all, technically a VFR moving map application, isn't it? I'm sure lots of you are shouting at the screen, berating me for missing this, but there you go, it happens. And it shows you, doesn't it, that it's a really good idea to get an air traffic service. Thank you, London Information, for saving me from making what could have been a very costly mistake. So I'm now planning to take India Victor up to flight level 190, but I have one task from my engineers to complete first. Before I set off over the Atlantic next year, they want to make sure the engine is all set up as it should be. And the first thing they want me to check is India Victor's critical altitude.
So the critical altitude is the altitude at which the aircraft can't provide full power anymore. And we just want to check what the critical altitude is here on India Victor. That should be around 12, flight level 120. So I'm just increasing the throttle to maintain 41 inches. And we should run out of throttle, or it can't give us any more power, between 11,500 and 12,500. So we're now officially the highest that I've been in India Victor, passing flight level 100. So we should be coming up to the critical altitude now. I'm pushing it to the overboost because I want to see when the overboost light goes out. This is all perfectly normal. We've got 41 inches showing. T's and P's are in the green. Got 12,000 feet now. Temperature is -11.
You'll see that I'm using a pulse oximeter on my finger to verify that I'm getting enough oxygen. It's the first time I've used the system on the aircraft and I want to be sure it's all working as expected. If you're interested in the oxygen setup I'm using, I've actually made a bonus video detailing the system, the cost, how much oxygen you get from a tank and so on. It's available to view now on Patreon. Also over there on the Supporters Club site are deep dive explainers about my Atlantic mission, the route I'm planning to take and why I've decided to do it now.
So we've got oxygen at 87 now, so I'm just going to turn up the flow of oxygen. So we've still got a bit of travel, we're at 13,000 now.
For those of you worrying about me overboosting my engine with that overboost light on, I'm actually following the Piper Continental service manual instructions. It says to fly at 2500 RPM and at 41 inches manifold pressure until the overboost light goes off with full open throttle. When I can't increase manifold pressure anymore and the light has gone out, that's when I've reached the critical altitude.
Okay, we're almost out of throttle now. Temperatures and pressures are in the green. Okay, we're out of throttle at 14.9, and fuel flow is 23.
So in density altitude terms, that translates to a critical altitude of 14,600 feet, which is a little higher than it should be, and so the engineers will have to make some adjustments at the next check. This is important so as not to overstress the engine or its turbo in future. The last thing we want, of course, is a malfunction. But if we had an engine in need of major repair or replacement, who would we go to? Norvic Aero Engines, of course. There's nothing more frustrating than an aircraft stuck on the ground waiting for parts, and here at Norvic they try to limit your downtime as much as possible by keeping a huge supply of all the key components for all the major aircraft engines in stock. But sometimes you need to get airborne today, not next week, and when you can't wait for your engine to be overhauled, Norvic has the answer as well. They're very proud to offer one of the largest number of ready-to-go engines. These are engines that are fully prepared, zero-timed, overhauled, and can be delivered straight to you even before you've returned your engine to them. So if you need an engine today and not next week, contact Norvic for more details.
London information.
Oh, I know what I did want to do
India Tango
is first check the mags.
Golf Bravo, India Tango, London station. Hello.
Just going to check the mags on left and right. Okay, so we've got good mags on the left.
900. That was set on 101.
Good mags on the right. So continuing up then, it's usually about this level that they start to suffer. These aren't pressurised magnetos. They're Bendix King magnetos, and they're supposedly good for, well, the aircraft certified for flight level 200, so just want to make sure that that's the case. If we have a problem, we'll start descending.
I have, of course, discussed this all with India Victor's engineers, by the way. They reassured me that the Bendix mags are known to perform very well, actually, at these altitudes compared to other makes. But as you can imagine, I wanted to be sure before being cleared to these levels in the restricted environment of controlled airspace. So far, everything is going really well, but will it remain that way all the way up to flight level 190?
We've got 94 on the sets. Outside temperature is -21. Okay, we're just going to check the mags at 17. Okay, we're getting an alert on the oxygen at the moment. It's supposedly working. We've got 94 sats. Just check the mags. Left are running fine. The right mags are running fine. So continuing up to 19. Like I say, we are getting alerts on the oxygen. Got sats of 80 of 91 now.
I think I was getting a warning on the oxygen system because the mask I'm wearing isn't a great fit. It's the universal one that comes with the setup. I'm going to get a better mask soon which has an integrated microphone, but it costs about $500, a bit more than $500, so it's not cheap.
But because of the turbo, we've still got 500-600 feet per minute. Just going to check the mags now. Left mags are fine. Right mags are fine. All T's and P's are good. We've got good fuel flow. Okay, this flight level 190, so we're a little up here. And we want 25, 29.
Heading southwest at altitude 1,500 on 1011, en route to Dartmoor for a low level request of safety service.
Got a very stiff elevator trim. Probably very cold. Just check the oxygen. 91. Just check the mag.
Formation, London Aviation. Hello, nice message.
Good mags both sides. Let's start the descent now.
Yeah.
Coming down to 4,000 feet. Golf India Victor, 2 miles west of Fenland. Descending now, altitude 4,000 feet.
Golf India Victor, London Aviation. Roger, when required, the bound QNH is 1000 hectopascals.
Barley 1000. Do you have the East Midlands QNH Golf India Victor?
East Midlands QNH is 1010.
QNH 1010, Golf India Victor.
So that was a successful flight test, I think. India Victor seemed to manage to get up to flight level 190 without any difficulty. And now I need to descend towards Southampton. It's going to take me quite some time to get back down, and I need to make sure I'm at the right altitudes along the way to avoid the various shelves of controlled airspace ahead.
Okay, back to normal. And if we can reach the oxygen, I don't think we're going to be able to. We'll turn the valve off. There we go. So that was a successful test. We've confirmed that the aircraft mags seem to work up to 1900, okay, 19,000 feet. The oxygen has worked. Communications are quite difficult, as you saw, and going to invest in a mask with a microphone in it, which will make that easier. I think I was quite stressed, quite tense, you know, not really sure how it was going to work out, what was going to happen. I found it quite stressful, and I think I was breathing too much, which was making me feel a tiny bit lightheaded. Even now I still feel a bit lightheaded. It's going to take a bit of getting used to the oxygen, and I didn't want to do this in a controlled airspace flight. It would have been impossible, because I wouldn't have known at what point, you know, the mags might have stopped working at 15,000, and that could have presented a problem. Didn't want complicated RT while doing all of that as well, so London Information were able to give me a kind of hands-off service. This isn't an aeroplane where you want to chop and drop, which is where you would cut the throttle and descend. You've got to descend on cruise power or near enough cruise power, otherwise you will definitely cause issues with the engine. Not anticipating having to do an instrument approach at Southampton. Let's see if we can pick up the ATIS.
Surface wind 240, 10 knots. Visibility 10 kilometers or more. Fuel 1,500 feet.
We'll go mixture rich. We changed tanks about 10-15 minutes ago. I think we're okay on that tank.
Golf India Victor, contact the tower 118.205, come in.
Contact the tower 118.205, Golf India Victor. Southampton Tower, Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, final runway 20.
Golf Bravo Mike India Victor, runway 20, the wind 240 degrees, 10 knots, clear to land.
Clear to land, runway 20, Golf India Victor. Reds, blues, 3 greens.
Thank you for watching The Flying Reporter. Remember, it helps me enormously if you hit the subscribe button. I appreciate all of you who did that after my last video. It makes a huge difference.
Welcome to Southampton.
I wish you a Merry Christmas. The next episode comes out on Sunday, the 4th of January. Pop it in your diary. Fly safely, my friends.